The official reports were filed, the causes of death were listed, the cases were closed, but the families never accepted the findings, the witnesses changed their stories, the evidence never added up, and the questions that were asked the week after the death are still being asked decades later. In this video, we visit the graves of celebrities who died mysteriously. Marilyn Monroe died August 4th, 1962, age 36. Buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park, Los Angeles, California. Found dead in her Brentwood bedroom with a phone clutched in her hand, enough barbiturates in her system to kill several people. The death ruled a probable suicide, though no drinking glass was found near the body, and the timeline of the housekeeper's account has never been consistent. Her affairs with both Kennedy brothers, the involvement of the Secret Service, and the 8-hour gap between her estimated time of death and the call to police fueling theories for over 60 years. Natalie Wood died November 29, 1981, age 43. Buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park, Los Angeles, California. Found floating in a nightgown near the yacht Splendor off Catalina Island, bruises on her body, terrified of water her entire life. Her husband Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken aboard the boat after a night of drinking and arguing. The death ruled accidental drowning, reopened in 2011 after Captain Dennis Davern changed his account. Wagner named a person of interest in 2018, never charged. The question of how she ended up in the water never answered. Bob Crane died June 29, 1978, age 49. Buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park, Los Angeles, California. The Hogan's Heroes star found bludgeoned to death in his Scottsdale apartment, with an electrical cord tied around his neck. His secret life of recording sexual encounters with dozens of women discovered during the investigation. His friend John Carpenter, tried and acquitted in 1994 due to insufficient evidence, the murder officially unsolved. Sam Cooke died December 11, 1964, age 33. Buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Glendale, California. Shot by Hacienda Motel manager Bertha Franklin after last being seen at Martoni's Italian restaurant. The ruling of justifiable homicide never accepted by his family. His companion Elisa Boyer later convicted of unrelated crimes, calling her credibility into question. The inventor of soul music killed at 33 under circumstances his family has disputed for 60 years. George Reeves died June 16, 1959, age 45. Interred at Mountain View Cemetery and Mausoleum, Altadena, California. The television Superman found dead from a gunshot wound in his bedroom. The death ruled suicide, though his mother and many associates believed he was murdered, possibly by associates of Tony Mannix, whose affair with Reeves was ending. No fingerprints found on the gun, no powder burns consistent with self-infliction, the shell casing found under his body rather than beside it. The case never reopened. Brian Jones died July 3, 1969, age 27. Buried at Cheltenham Cemetery, Cheltenham, England. Found drowned in the swimming pool at Cochford Farm, 1 month after being fired from the Rolling Stones he had founded. The coroner ruling death by misadventure, though Jones was a strong swimmer, and multiple witnesses later claimed builder Frank Thorogood confessed on his deathbed. The circumstances investigated by journalists for decades, the official ruling never overturned. Tupac Shakur died September 13, 1996, age 25. Cremated, ashes reportedly scattered by the outlaws. Shot at Flamingo and Koval in Las Vegas after the Tyson fight, surviving 6 days. Keith Days arrested in 2023 and charged with murder, the trial resulting in no conviction. The most mythologized death in hip-hop, generating theories about Suge Knight, the LAPD, the FBI, and the East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Brittany Murphy died December 20th, 2009, age 32. Buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills, California. Dying of pneumonia and drug intoxication, her husband Simon Monjack dying in the same house from similar causes 5 months later. Toxic mold cited as a possible contributing factor. The LA County coroner finding no foul play in either death. The coincidence of identical causes in the same house never resolved. Jam Master Jay died October 30th, 2002, age 37. Buried at Ferncliff Cemetery, Hartsdale, New York. The Run DMC DJ shot in his Jamaica, Queens recording studio. The case unsolved for 22 years. 2 men finally convicted in 2024 for a murder connected to a drug deal involving cocaine. The longest unsolved celebrity murder in New York, ending in a courtroom 2 decades after the studio went quiet. Michael Hutchins died November 22, 1997, age 37. Cremated, ashes divided among his mother, father, and partner Paula Yates, a portion scattered in Sydney Harbor. The INXS frontman found hanged by a belt from the door of room 524 at the Ritz-Carlton Double Bay in Sydney. The death ruled suicide, though his partner Paula Yates and band members insisted it was accidental autoerotic asphyxiation. No suicide note found. The toxicology showing alcohol and cocaine, the distinction between suicide and accident mattering to his family and changing nothing about the outcome. Jeff Buckley died May 29, 1997, age 30. Cremated, ashes scattered in the Wolf River in Memphis, Tennessee. Drowned in the Wolf River harbor of the Mississippi while wading in fully clothed singing Led Zeppelin, pulled under by the wake of a passing boat. No drugs or alcohol in his system. The death ruled accidental drowning. His friends insisting he was not suicidal. The Memphis police finding no evidence of foul play. The randomness of the death, its own kind of mystery. Hank Williams died January 1, 1953, age 29. Buried at Oakwood Cemetery Annex, Montgomery, Alabama. Pronounced dead in Oak Hill, West Virginia, after his driver, Charles Carr, noticed he had stopped moving in the back seat of his Cadillac, injected with morphine before the drive. The exact cause never definitively established between heart failure, the morphine, the chronic pain, and the alcohol. Jimi Hendrix died September 18, 1970, age 27, buried at Greenwood Memorial Park, Renton, Washington. Found unresponsive in Monica Danneman's London flat, choking on his own vomit after taking barbiturates and drinking wine. Danneman's account of the night changing significantly over the years, before her suicide in 1996. His manager, Mike Jeffrey, who died in a 1973 plane crash, later alleged by associates to have been involved in Hendrix's death, the claims unproven. Bobby Fuller died July 18, 1966, age 23, buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills, California. The I Fought the Law singer found dead in his car outside his Hollywood apartment, gasoline poured over his body. The death ruled suicide by asphyxiation, then changed to accident, then left as undetermined. His mother and brother believing he was murdered, possibly connected to organized crime figures in the music industry. The case never resolved. Phil Hartman died May 28, 1998, age 49, cremated, ashes scattered at Emerald Bay, Catalina Island. Shot in his sleep by his wife Bryn, who then killed herself, their children asleep down the hall. The mystery not in who pulled the trigger, but in what happened in the hours between the shooting and Bryn's suicide. Bryn calling a friend to the house, showing him Hartman's body, the friend leaving and returning with police, Bryn shooting herself during their arrival. Karen Silkwood died November 13, 1974, age 28, buried at Danville Memorial Park, Kilgore, Texas. The Kerr-McGee plutonium plant worker killed in a single-car crash on her way to meet a New York Times reporter, with documents allegedly proving the company was falsifying safety records. The documents never found at the crash site, the car showing possible rear-end damage. The case settled by Kerr-McGee for $1.38 million without admitting wrongdoing, Meryl Streep playing her in the 1983 film. Jim Morrison died July 3, 1971, age 27, buried at Père Lachaise Cemetery, Paris, France. Found dead in the bathtub by Pamela Corson. No autopsy performed because French law did not require one when no foul play was suspected. The official cause listed as heart failure at 27. Corson dying of a heroin overdose in 1974 without ever giving a full public account. The absence of an autopsy leaving the actual cause permanently unknowable. Dorothy Kilgallen died November 8, 1965, age 52. Buried at Gate of Heaven Cemetery, Hawthorne, New York. the newspaper columnist and What's My Line panelist, found dead from a barbiturate and alcohol combination, having been investigating the JFK assassination and reportedly telling friends she was about to break the case wide open. Her interview notes from speaking with Jack Ruby never found, the death ruled accidental, her files on the assassination missing from her apartment. Len Bias died June 19, 1986, age 22, buried at Lincoln Memorial Cemetery, Suitland, Maryland. The Maryland basketball star, who was the second overall pick in the NBA draft by the Boston Celtics, dying of a cocaine overdose 2 days after being drafted, the mystery being not the cause, but how a seemingly healthy 22-year-old with no known history of heavy drug use died from what witnesses described as his first time using cocaine. His death directly leading to the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986. Meriwether Lewis died October 11, 1809, age 35, buried at a memorial on the Natchez Trace near Hohenwald, Tennessee. The Lewis and Clark expedition leader, found dead from gunshot wounds at Grinder's Stand Inn in Tennessee. The death ruled suicide, though Thomas Jefferson accepted the ruling while others argued robbery or murder. The debate between historians continuing for over 200 years. A petition to exhume his remains for modern forensic analysis denied by the National Park Service. Tammy Wynette died April 6, 1998, age 55. Buried at Woodlawn Cross Mausoleum, Nashville, Tennessee. The Stand By Your Man singer dying in her sleep from a blood clot to the lungs, her 3 daughters filing a $50 million wrongful death lawsuit against her husband George Ritchie and her doctor, alleging they had over-medicated her and failed to provide proper care. The lawsuit settled out of court, Ritchie dying in 2010, the daughters never receiving a full accounting of what happened. Pete Ham died April 24, 1975, age 27, cremated at Morriston Crematorium, Swansea, Wales. The Badfinger songwriter behind Without You, hanging himself after manager Stan Pauly embezzled the band's royalties. The mystery not in the cause, but in the estimated $15 million that Pauly allegedly stole and that was never recovered. Bandmate Tom Evans hanging himself 8 years later over the same stolen money. 2 suicides from the same theft. Terry Kath died January 23, 1978, age 31. Buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills, California. The Chicago guitarist dying from an accidental gunshot wound while showing a friend his gun collection, putting a pistol to his head saying, "Don't worry, it's not loaded," having checked the magazine, but not the chamber. The death indisputably accidental, the tragedy being the simplest kind of mystery. Why a man who knew guns did not check the one that killed him. Spalding Gray died January 10, 2004, age 62, buried at Oakland Cemetery, Sag Harbor, New York. The monologist in Swimming to Cambodia, star disappearing on January 10th, his body found in the East River 2 months later, having suffered a traumatic brain injury in a 2001 car accident in Ireland that left him depressed and suicidal. The mystery being the 2-month gap between his disappearance and the discovery of his body in the river. Graham Parsons died September 19, 1973, age 26. Remains at Garden of Memories Cemetery, Metairie, Louisiana. Dying of a morphine and alcohol overdose at the Joshua Tree Inn, his road manager stealing his body from LAX and burning it in the desert to honor a pact they had made, fined $750 for coffin theft. The mystery not in the death, but in the body, burned in a national park by a friend who kept a promise the legal system did not recognize. David Carradine died June 3, 2009, age 72, buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills, California. The Kill Bill and Kung Fu star found dead in a closet at the Swissôtel Nai Lert Park in Bangkok, a rope around his neck and body. The death initially reported as suicide and later determined to be accidental autoerotic asphyxiation. His family disputing both rulings and hiring a private investigator who suggested possible foul play. The case closed by Thai authorities. Thelma Todd died December 16, 1935, age 29. Buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, Hollywood Hills, California. The ice cream blonde who starred opposite the Marx Brothers and Laurel and Hardy, found dead in her car, in a garage from carbon monoxide poisoning. The death ruled accidental, though murder and suicide theories have persisted for 90 years. Her ex-husband, her boyfriend, and Lucky Luciano, all named as suspects by various investigators over the decades. Pierre Angeli died September 10, 1971, age 39, buried at Cimetière de Boulevisse, Rueil-Malmaison, France. The Italian actress whose romance with James Dean was ended by her mother's insistence she marry Vic Damone, dying of a barbiturate overdose at 39. The note reportedly containing only one word: love. Whether the overdose was intentional or accidental never determined, the one-word note offering no clarity. Rebecca Schaefer died July 18, 1989, age 21, buried at Ahavai Sholem Cemetery, Portland, Oregon. The My Sister Sam actress shot at her apartment door by stalker Robert John Bardo, who had obtained her address from a private investigator who got it from the California DMV. Her death directly leading to California's anti-stalking law and the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, restricting access to DMV records. Bardo sentenced to life without parole. Ronnie Chasen died November 16, 2010, age 64, buried at Hillside Memorial Park, Culver City, California. The veteran Hollywood publicist shot 5 times while driving through Beverly Hills after a premiere party. The investigation initially suspecting a professional hit before police identified Harold Martin Smith, who killed himself when confronted by America's most wanted cameras. Whether Smith acted alone or was hired, never definitively established. Richie Edwards disappeared February 1, 1995, age 27, declared legally dead November 23, 2008. The Manic Street Preachers guitarist who vanished from the Embassy Hotel in London, his car found abandoned at the Severn View service station near the Severn Bridge, his body never recovered. Declared dead 13 years later, the most famous disappearance in British music, his bandmates still receiving royalties in his name. Eazy-E died March 26, 1995, age 30. Buried at Rose Hills Memorial Park, Whittier, California. The NWA founder dying of AIDS-related pneumonia 10 days after his diagnosis shocked hip-hop. Conspiracy theorists fueled by Suge Knight's 2003 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, where he joked about killing someone by injecting them with AIDS-infected blood in what he called an Eazy-E thing. The theory unproven and medically implausible, the diagnosis still the most shocking in rap history. Randy Rhoads died March 19, 1982, age 25, buried at Mountain View Cemetery, San Bernardino, California. Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist, killed when the tour bus driver took a small plane and buzzed the bus as a prank, clipping the vehicle and crashing into a house. The mystery being why the driver chose to perform aerobatics with passengers in a plane. He was barely qualified to fly. The most technically gifted metal guitarist of his era, killed by a prank at 25. Aaliyah died August 25, 2001, age 22, entombed at Ferncliff Cemetery, Hartsdale, New York. Killed when an overloaded Cessna crashed after takeoff from the Bahamas, the pilot unlicensed and later found to have cocaine and alcohol in his system, the plane hundreds of pounds over its weight limit. The mystery of why anyone allowed the flight to depart never answered by the investigation. Minnie Riperton died July 12, 1979, age 31, buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park, Los Angeles, California. The singer of Lovin' You, with the 5-octave range, dying of breast cancer at 31. Not a mysterious death, but a mystery of timing. Her daughter Maya Rudolph was only 7, and Riperton had kept the severity of her illness from the public. Stevie Wonder visiting her bedside in her final days. The woman with the highest voice in popular music silenced by the cruelest diagnosis. Johnny Thunders died April 23, 1991, age 38. Buried at St. Mary's Cemetery, Flushing, Queens, New York. The New York Dolls and Heartbreakers guitarist, found dead in a New Orleans hotel room. The cause listed as drug-related, though methadone and personal items were missing from the room, witnesses reporting suspicious visitors. The heroin lifestyle making murder indistinguishable from overdose, the case closed without resolution.